UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Erceg just took place in Mexico. It was a pretty good card, decent, some close calls for a few fighters. I went 10-2 on picks, which is better than last week, where I went 8-5. Let's get into it. First up on the card, MarQuel Mederos defeated Austin Hubbard by split decision. Yeah, I rewatched it back. Makes sense. I don't know really. I guess I know why it was a split. I don't know. The third round, Austin had some control time, but I just don't think that's enough to outdo the damage that MarQuel Mederos did. First round, I thought Mederos won, just outstriking. He was blitzing in a lot. Second round, that was pretty much just all Hubbard, just controlling the entire time. Had a face crank at one point. She fell onto the ground with it. But in that third round, Mederos was landing elbows. He cut Hubbard open, which again, that's the damage over the control time. Pretty open and shut. First round Mederos, second round Hubbard, third round Mederos again. Jamall Emmers defeated Gabriel Miranda by TKO in the first round. Yeah, makes sense. Gabriel Miranda, not a great striker. That being said, Jamall Emmers, this was a goofy fight. Jamall was swinging for the fences, kind of looking, no offense, a bit stupid. At times, he was looking like the guy with no striking. But when he really honed it and he made it more technical, that was when he was able to put his hands on Gabriel Miranda and really do his best work. They just look stupid. I don't know how else to say it, really. Nice right hand for Jamall, put him down. Ground and pound. Yeah. Miranda took him down a couple times. It's not... I mean, I would say it's not great for, like, the future of Jamall Emmers, knowing getting taken down by Miranda, but he's 35. He's lost in the UFC. He's not going to be anything. He's just here to have performances like this, I guess, where he looks a bit goofy. He comes in, gets his pay, and he went... Gabriel's 35 as well. I just saw that. Yeah, kind of a nothing fight. Good knockout, though. That's what matters. Rafa Garcia defeated Vinc Pichel by unanimous decision. A lot of 2-1 decisions on this card, I feel like. Garcia won the first. He was just landing a bit of shots with the hands. Second round, Vinc Pichel came back. Crafty old man. He was hitting a lot with the jab and the leg kicks, and it was doing a lot more than Rafa's, big winging hooks and overhands, which Rafa was still landing. Like, it was still definitely a close round. There might even be an argument to give it to Rafa, but I don't think so. That third round though, Rafa, he was just going for it. He's landing shots. He got a takedown at the end. They scrapped. But yeah, Rafa Garcia just landing all of the better shots in this fight. I've seen that Vinc Pichel's cried a robbery online. He said, call the cops. Yeah, I've been robbed, but come on, buddy. This wasn't hometown cooking. Rafa may be from Mexico, but no bias judging here. Vinc, he looked good for a 42-year-old man inside the UFC. I saw a stat saying he's the oldest active UFC fighter on the roster, which feels like it's wrong, but whatever they say. I thought Blachowicz was older. But anyway. Yeah. It's a fight that happened. Certainly a fight that happened. It was fun. Definitely fun. Some cool, crafty striking on the feet from Pichel and some bruising from Rafa. That's all I have to say about it, though. Godinez defeated Julia Polastri by unanimous decision. First 2 rounds, it was just Lupita. She was just controlling the entire time, not really doing that much. It's fine, though. The third round, though, Lupita kind of gassed. She gassed a little bit, and Julia came back, was hitting her with good shots the entire time. But, that being said, the commentary was kind of glazing her, being like, just lighting her up, this, that, and the other. She not a great striker. Lupi, even though she was gassed, was still getting her own. It's the same thing. I don't know. Lupi kind of ruined not the hype that I have for both of these fighters, but really showed that Lupi's not really gonna be doing much if she's gassing out like that. I know it was in Mexico, but still, you should be training for it. You're Mexican. Looks like she trains there as well, so you should be adjusted to it. And Julia, you can't beat Lupi Godinez. Which, again, like, she's alright for this division, but not a great look for either of them, I don't think. Melquizael Costa defeated Christian Rodriguez by unanimous decision. I thought Christian won. I'm not ready to die on that hill, but I think it comes down to the first round, and I think the sub attempt clinches that for Christian. That being said, not the worst, not like the worst decision in the world. Melky was landing some good shots. That second round, especially, he was just putting a beating on Christian Rodriguez in that second round. Christian got cut. There was a lot of ground and pound. Hurt him. Yeah, and then the third. Yeah, lots of reversals, the clinching. This was the C-Rod round. I thought he made a good recovery from the second. He foot sweeps. And then right at the end, bloody Christian Rodriguez goes for a spinning elbow and hits Melquizael Costa kind of like in the solar plexus, which I thought was interesting. A little after the bell, but he threw it before the bell had sounded, so I don't think it was intentional. This is a weird one, because as I said in the prediction video, Christian Rodriguez, he's defeated, his last 4 wins have come against 4 undefeated prospects, all with like, a decent amount of hype on them. This dude only loses to people with bad records, and Melquizael Costa's record, it's not the worst, he's 23-7 now, but 7 losses, not great. He got subbed by Julian Rosa, who I think it's like 29-11, I think. So if you're an undefeated prospect, stay away from Christian Rodriguez. If you're a bit of I won't say a jobber, because Melquizael, I think he's on like a 3-fight win streak now, but if you've got a few losses, in the UFC, or in general, easy pickings against Christian Rodriguez. That being said, though, I did think Christian won, but I'm not going to cry about it. Christian's good, he'll be back, yeah. Alberto Gautier defeated Jose Medina by first round TKO. Early stoppage, in my opinion. Early stoppage. When this fight was happening, I was sort of thinking like, why do they keep putting these, these knockout artists or guys who, obviously have heavy hands against these sort of Mexican jobbers, these guys that have just genetically phenomenal chins for some reason and aren't going to, they aren't going to get knocked out. Like, it reminded me a lot, before the knockout, obviously, of James Lontop versus, what's-his-face, Rufi, where Rufy's look way better against his other opponents, and then all of a sudden he fights this Mexican guy with a great chin, and he just can't chin. He's doing great, but And the same thing here. I was thinking like, what are we going to go to a decision where it's just Alberto Gautier just beating the shit. He's from Bolivia. He's not Mexican. Point still stands. But yeah, I thought, are we gonna is this human ass beating for 3 rounds? But no, landed a knee. It was good. It was a good knee. Jose fell. He fell weird, but he was doing stuff with his legs. He was still in it. Yeah, kind of sad for Medina. I guess he's 33, probably never gonna be anything. Alberto Gautier though, only 22, almost 23, in a couple weeks. Very impressive for him, even though he was a heavy favourite. Kevin Borjas defeated Ronaldo Rodriguez by unanimous decision, 30-27. This was a good showcase for Borjas. I was kind of counting him out here. This is one of the fights I got wrong in the card. Yeah, really good counter striking from him. He really showed how good his boxing is. And Ronaldo Rodriguez, I think he sipped his own Kool-Aid a bit too much. 25 years old, he's young. I think he's throwing a bunch of flashy techniques the entire time. Like, he threw a couple wheel kicks that like weren't even close, and by then I mean he was like too close. I don't know what he was doing. He got dropped really badly and kind of like somersaulted out of it. Borjas even just like knees to the body. Yeah. At a point, even Ronaldo Rodriguez kind of tried shooting on him, but it didn't really work for him. Yeah, a little disappointed by Rodriguez. Kevin Borjas, though, I feel like normally the common theme of what I say here would be like, killed a prospect, blah, blah, blah. But now he's 27. Like, I'm excited. I know he's 0-2 in the UFC coming into this, but that's a pretty good, solid first one in the UFC, to kind of reintroduce yourself with. David Martinez defeated Saaimon Oliveira by first round KO, or TKO. Yeah, it was really just Martinez picking his shots really well. Saaimon seemed a little hesitant. I think he's been out for a bit. Yeah, honestly, not really much to say. It was just really nice right hand, pulled the head down for a knee, and then finished with ground and pound. This is really exciting. 26-year-old prospect. I think I was a bit down on him in the prediction, but look, good. It's a good performance. It sucks for Saaimon Oliveira. I think he's 0-3 in the UFC now, but you're 33, buddy. Hardly a prospect at this point. Black Spartan David Martinez, though. Yeah, let's see him against in a good matchup. That'd be fun. Who knows who against, though, we'll have to say. Raul Rosas Jr. defeated Vince Morales by unanimous decision. This was a really interesting fight. I think it was a good matchup to give Raul Rosas Jr. in retrospect, you know. I think I mentioned this in the prediction video, but Vince Morales, not, you know, he's better than his record suggests, man. He's 16-10, but he's way better than that. 3-8 in the UFC now. Sucks for him. Yeah, in that first round, Raul Rosas Jr., striking looks better. And maybe that's just because he's against Vince Morales. But again, Vince isn't bad. Yeah, striking looks improved for Raul. That's very promising. In the first round, Morales kind of threatened to choke. It was foreshadowing for the third round. In the second, same thing. They were just kind of going tit for tat. Then the back take for Raul Rosas Jr. Just got control. It's not like he wasn't doing anything. Like, he was trying to get stuff going. Yeah. But he won that round too. Then the third round, or in between the second and the third, Vince Morales' corner kind of said to him, hey, you know, you got to do something here. And Vince definitely came out with pressure. He's attempting high kicks. He sprawled a takedown. I was like, oh, okay. And then he went for, I think the commentary called it a Japanese necktie, which is like sort of a modified looking guillotine. Then he moved. He started switching between the Das and the Anaconda. And he almost had it at one point, it felt like. But then Rosas got out. He gave the thumbs up and got out. Raul landed a good elbow. Yeah, and then really Morales rolled out and then looked for a leg attack, which they don't really work that much in MMA. He found that out. You know, Rosas got control again. But then he got a pretty tight submission in, and I'll be honest, I kind of feel like Raul Rosas Jr. was saved by the bell here. Obviously, we have time limits for a reason in the UFC, you know. It's not like you can say, like, well, if there was 5 seconds extra, there isn't. But he's making the pain face, like shit. Didn't have the tapping hand ready, though, which is good, you know. You see someone bring their hand up, you know they've got that quit in them. Unless it's like an armbar or something, in which case, you know, no need to get your arm broken. Yeah. I want to see Raul Rosas Jr. up against some sort of opponent, you know, outside the rankings. In that, like, maybe someone in that 20th sort of spot. I won't do exact fights to make now. I might do that in a couple of days. But, yeah, look, this is what you wanted to see from Raul Rosas Jr. He showed a few holes in his game, though, maybe with that submission defense. That's fine. No fight is perfect. Edgar Chairez defeated CJ Vergara by rear naked choke in the first round. I picked Chairez by sub. I got Chairez by sub. I said third round. It was in the first. Yeah, they were just kind of doing their thing. Jabbing, leg kicking each other. Then a really, really nice fast left hook for Edgar Chairez. Then he emotes like an idiot. Like, I have that written down in my notes. Emotes like an idiot because I don't understand. You have him hurt. He still got the finish, but, you know, he could have fumbled that there. Then Chairez rocked him again. CJ turned his back. And then Chairez got the RNC in. Yeah, look. Chairez, maybe, same with Morales, maybe a little better than his record suggests. He'll probably never be ranked, but he's good for some fun. CJ Vergara, probably time to go, buddy. Peace and love, but I'm not exactly sure if he belongs in the UFC anymore. Yeah. Sad, but, like, you know, I almost felt like this was kind of a fight to see who has to go, and we certainly found that out. Yeah. It's good, though. It was fun, and going back to that left hook, very fast, very slick. He obviously had that close fight with Joshua Van. We know he has good striking, so yeah, chuck him up against like a fun unranked striker. I know they wouldn't do him versus Kaya Sakura, but you know, that could be fun. Just get Kai an easy one. Manuel Torres defeated Drew Dober by first round knockout. This one, yeah, just that right hand was really there for Torres. He landed, well, the knockout was actually pretty early. Just landed a 1-2. Dober kind of obviously fell down. He was knocked out. Not like fully knocked out, but he definitely wasn't in there. He just grabbed onto the leg of Manuel Torres and then proceeded to get hit by 15 follow-up strikes. People are saying light stoppage. I agree. I think the first maybe 3 or 4 of them, that's fine. Make sure he's not just like, He's not just like rocked and it wasn't a flash knockout. But no, 10 of those were unnecessary. Probably more than 10 of them. That sucks for Dober, but I said this. He's getting older. He's on a bit of a loss streak. I saw a quote from earlier this week saying like, I'm like the Diet Justin Gaethje. It's like, oh, buddy. It's rough, man. Drew Dober, he's a cool guy, but it's definitely the new sort of age of these lightweights are coming in. I think Manuel Torres lost to Ignacio Bahamondes in the Sphere card, but that loss is, as said in the prediction video, it's aging pretty well. As well as a loss can, at least. Yeah, I think Manuel Torres, he doesn't deserve someone ranked, obviously. Maybe not even someone in that 16 to 20 range. Give him someone in like a 21 to 25 spot, though. Maybe a Nasrat Haqparas. Something like that. Brandon Moreno defeated Steve Erceg by unanimous decision in the main event. This was a sad one for me, man. I like Steve Erceg. Scorecard set at 4-1. I had it 3-2. I could see it 4-1. I think that fourth round, the takedown maybe swayed them a little bit, but Moreno didn't really do anything with it. Those first 2 rounds, though, especially that first round, that was really Moreno just picking his shots. He's landing a lot of those big overhands that he was using against Royval. Didn't really like seeing them, but even though they were, they were working, I don't like that that's kind of become a part of his game now. When, we saw someone like Royval be able to, not counter them, but, move the hell out of the way. Because obviously, and even as the fight progressed, Steve kind of figured out the timing on them and didn't get hit with them as much anymore. But yeah, that first round, lots of Brandon Moreno. He's landing more and he's landing better. Second round, same thing, a little closer though. That third round, Erceg, really his head movement was on point. He was just moving out of the way of shots. Still, Moreno was still definitely landing shots on him, but I think he was getting out of the way of enough of them to where I gave him that third round. Fourth round was a little closer. I could see how you give it Moreno. I just think Erceg, again, a lot of the shots that Moreno, like you think are like, wow, it's landing. I don't think they were. So I gave that Erceg slightly. Again, though, wouldn't be mad if you gave it Moreno. Fifth round, it was probably leaning Moreno. This is where he did land another big overhand. Then Erceg, I think he landed a head kick and just tripped over. Like, he fell backwards, and then Moreno controlled him for the rest of the round, and it was like, yeah, it's a sad way to see the fight finish. Would have liked to see it finish in the feet. Not even just for Steve Erceg, just to see a bit more of a scrap. But, like, when an opportunity like that, if you're Moreno, when that presents itself, you're like, what are you not just going to jump on top of him? So it's not like, I don't blame Moreno for that. I don't want to see Moreno fight for a belt again, though. I'm sick of it. He should fight at least one more guy. Yeah. Like, you've lost a lot of fights. Joseph Benavidez back in the day, I think he had to win like 6 in a row or something stupid. After his second title loss. And even then he lost. I think it was like Sergio Pettis and had to start over again. So yeah, I think at least one more from Moreno. Steve Erceg, I think this definitely, we can put a stamp on it and say he's not top 3. Could still be top 5, we'll have to see. Definitely a top 10 fighter though. He made it very close with Brandon Moreno. That's very encouraging for his future. And he's still a young guy. He's still 29. He'll be here a lot longer than Moreno is, because even though Moreno's only 31, I don't see him fighting that much longer. I think we've got probably about 5 more Brandon Moreno fights. Whereas Steve Erceg, if he keeps winning, takes the odd loss here and there, we'll see him in the UFC for the next, probably next 5 years as opposed to 5 fights. Anyway, good win for Moreno. Sucks for Erceg, but Moreno just looked good. That wraps up the card. Thank you guys again for listening. 10-2 in predictions. Again, I'm happy with that. I'm good. Let's keep that rolling for the next card. I'll put out a fights to make video in a couple days, maybe another one before the prediction video, which I'll do for the next card. Thank you. Take care and have a good day.